Shiloh Chapter 10. Dad's beside me, holding the flashlight up to Shiloh's eyes. Shiloh's still alive. That's Judd Travers' dog. I sit back on my heels and nod. Wipe one arm across my face. Dad looks around. Take those gunny sacks over there and put 'em on the back of the Jeep, he says, and then, still holding his flashlight in one hand, he slips his arms under Shiloh and picks him up. I can see Shiloh wince and pull back on his leg where it hurts. The tears are spilling out of my eyes, but Dad can't see 'em in the dark. He can probably tell that I'm crying, though, 'cause my nose is clogged. Dad, I say, please don't take him back to Judd. Judd'll take one look at Shiloh and shoot him. Take those gunny sacks to the Jeep like I said, Dad tells me, and I follow behind as we go down the hill. I keep my mouth open to let the breath escape, crying without making a sign, just like Shiloh, without making a sound, just like Shiloh. Ma's watching from inside, the screen all covered with June bugs where they've been buzzing around the light. Darlin's up, standing there in her nightshirt, watching. What is it? What's he got? Darlin says, pestering Ma's arm. A dog, says Ma. And then she calls out, Ray, is it alive? Just barely, says Dad. I put the gunny sacks in the Jeep, and Dad carefully lays Shiloh down. Without waiting to ask, I crawl in the Jeep beside Shiloh, and Dad don't say no. He goes in the house for his trousers and his keys, and then we're off. I'm sorry, Shiloh, I whisper over and over, both hands on him so he won't try to get up. The blood's just pouring from him, from a rip in his ear. I'm sorry. Jesus help me. I didn't know Baker's dog could leap that fence. When we get out to the bottom of the lane, instead of going up the road toward Judd's place, Dad turns left toward Friendly, and halfway down around the first curve, he pulls in Doc Murphy's driveway. Light still on in the window. But I think old Doc was in bed, 'cause he come to the door in his pajamas. Ray Preston, he says, when he sees Dad. I sure am sorry to bother you at this hour of the night, Dad says, but I got a dog here, hurt bad, and if you could take a look at him, see if he can be saved, I'd be much obliged. We'll pay. I'm no vet, says Doc Murphy, but he's already standing inside, holding the screen open with one hand so we can carry Shiloh in. The doc's a short man, round belly, don't seem to practice what he preaches about eating right, but he's got a kind heart. He lays out some newspapers on the kitchen table. I'm shaking so hard I can see my own hands tremble as I keep one on Shiloh's head and the other on the front paw. He's sure bleeding good, I can tell you that, Doc Murphy says. He puts on his stethoscope and listens to Shiloh's heart. Then he takes a flashlight and shines it in the dog's eyes, holding one on each open finger and thumb. Finally, he looks at the big, ugly wound on Shiloh's hurt leg, torn right open to the bone. Then bites around Shiloh's neck and ripped ear. I turn my head away and sniffle some more. I'll do what I can, Doc says. The thing we got to worry about is infection. That leg wound is going to take 20 or 30 stitches. What happened? I figured Dad will answer for me, but he don't. Just turns to me. Marty? I swallow. Big old German Shepherd chewed him up. Doc Murphy goes over to the sink and washes his hands. Baker's dog? Every time that Shepherd gets loose, there's trouble. He comes back to the table and takes a big needle out of his bag and fills it full of something. Something to make Shiloh numb, maybe. This your dog, son? I shake my head. No. He looks at me, and then Dad still won't say nothing, makes me do the talking, while the doc leans over Shiloh and slowly inserts the needle inside. I get up the nerve. It's Judd Travers, I'll tell him. I got to start practicing the truth sometime. Judd Travers? This dog, he's missing. The dog's he's been missing? How come you brought him in? I had him, I say. Doc Murphy sucks in a breath, then lets out a little at a time. Huh, 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 huh. Whew, he says, and goes on about his work. Don't know how long we were there in Doc's kitchen, Dad standing over against the wall, arms folded, me with my hands cupped over Shiloh's head, while Doc Murphy washes the wounds, dresses them, and starts stitching the skin back up. Once or twice I feel Shiloh jerk like it hurts him, but when he lays too still, I don't know if it's because he's numb or if he's dying. The next 24 hours we'll know if this dog's going to live, the doc says. You can check with me tomorrow evening. We'll have some idea then. I can keep him here for a day or two, Ray. Then, if he makes it, you can take him home. I put my face down near Shiloh's again, my mouth next to his ear. Live, Shiloh, live, I whisper. Hardest thing in the world to do is to leave Shiloh there at Doc Murphy's. The way his eyes follow me over to the doorway, and the way his muscles move, like he's trying to get up when he sees me leaving. Second hardest thing to do is to crawl in the Jeep with Dad afterwards. There isn't a word passed between us until we get home. Once Dad turns the motor off, though, and I'm all set to get out, he says, Marty, what else don't I know? What? I ask. You keeping Judd's dog up there on our hill. Got a place for him all built. Never letting on. What else you keeping from me? Nothing, Dad. I, how do I know that it's not another lie? 'Cause it's not. You saying don't make it true. I know then what Mom meant. But it's not all so black and white as Dad makes it out to be, neither. And sometimes when I get mad, it clears my head. You would have thought more of me if I'd let that dog wander around until Judd found it again, kicked the daylights out of him. I asked, that what you want me to do, Dad? I want you to do what's right. What's right. For once in my 11 years, I think I have my dad stumped. Leastways, it seems to be 30, 40 seconds before he answers. You've got to go by the law. The law says a man that pays money for a dog owns that dog. You don't agree with the law, then you work to change it. What if there isn't time, Dad? Shiloh could be dead by the time somebody looked into the law the way Judd treats his dogs. Dad's voice is sharp. You think John Travers is the only one around here hard-hearted towards his animals? You think he's the only one who starves them or kicks them or worse? Open your eyes, Marty. Open your eyes. Now Dad half turns in his seat, back resting against the door, facing me. How many times have you walked to to the school bus and seen a chained up dog in somebody's yard? How many times you ever put your mind to whether or not it's happy, or its ribs sticking out like handles in the sides? Suddenly you're face to face with a dog that pulls at your heart, and you all at once want to change things? I swallow. There's got to be a first time, I answer. Dad sighs. You're right about that, he says. I'm pushing my luck. I know if Doc Murphy don't tell Judd about Shiloh, can we bring him back here to keep him? I could build him a better pen. Make the fence high enough so that the shepherd can't get in. Dad opens the Jeep door on his side. No, he says, and gets out. I get out too, just till Shiloh's better then. You know how Judd treats anything that don't work right. He'll shoot Shiloh, Dad. I found a dog once before over near Judd's place with a bullet hole in his head. We could at least get Shiloh well. I'm going to pay Doc Murphy's bill, I promise you that. You get all my camp money for the next 3 years, and I'll deliver the county paper too, if I get the chance. Honest, I promise. Dad studies me. You can keep him here until he's well. That's all. Then we're taking him back to Judd, and he goes in the house. My heart starts pounding again. Thumpity thump, thumpity thump. There's still time. I'm thinking. Shiloh's still alive, and I ain't licked yet.